Today we will learn about present perfect tense and present perfect continuous tense. But before going on with the topic, we need to know what is the meaning of perfect tense, because without knowing the meaning of perfect tense we will not understand anything. So first we need to know the meaning of perfect tense. Secondly, why do we use perfect tense in a sentence? This also we need to know. And thirdly, how does a verb look in the form of perfect tense? So these three answers we need to know before proceeding with the topic, because without knowing the reason of using a tense in a sentence, it will be useless to learn about that particular one. So let's start. Let us see uh, how does we use perfect tense in a sentence and what does it mean actually. Now we can see a clock at the beginning, right? And in the clock, the time is 12:05 p.m. today. Let us assume that the time we are mentioning of today. There is a girl, let's name her Mary. She started reading a book at 11 a.m. today. She has finished reading the book at 11:55 a.m. today. Now, how will you express this time of action? Uh, the present time is 12:05 p.m., right? This girl, Mary, has finished reading the book at 11:55 a.m. So we cannot say that this action is going on in the past, neither it is going on to the future, and neither it is referring to the present time, because she has completed reading the book at 11:55, just 5 minutes before the clock struck 12, right? So this action is neither in the far past, neither the present time, neither in the future time. So it is a midway between the past and the present. So when we talk about an action which is completed at the time of speaking, we use perfect tense. So if a work is completed just at the time of speaking, we use perfect tense. Okay. Now next comes, how does a verb look like in the form of perfect tense? Like we have in the previous videos, we have seen how does a verb look in the present tense, simple present tense, present continuous tense. So now we will see how does a verb look in a perfect tense. First of all, we will see the subject. With that subject, we will have has or have in case of present event, means if we are referring to a present moment, we will use has or have. Has in the case of single subject and have in the case of plural subject. So for plural and singular subject agreement with the verb, you can see and check my previous videos where I have mentioned how the verb agrees with the subjects and how plural verbs and subjects deal with each other, so that you can check. I will give the link below. And had in case of past event, because if we refer to something of the past, we will use had. Then there will be the verb, and that verb will be in the form of past participle. That means a verb form which is used to refer to a completed action, or an action which has been completed at the time of speaking. So that particular expression of verb is called past participle. Now let's take examples. The dog has eaten the biscuits. Now, which is the subject here? Obviously, the dog. Then what will we have? has or have in present case. So here, since the dog is single, we are using has, then we will get the verb, right? Now here we are seeing the dog has eaten the biscuits. Now eaten is the past participle of the verb eat. Next, the girls have gone to home. The girls is the subject. Then we are using have, as girls is plural, and gone to home. The girls have gone to home. Now here also gone is the past participle form of the verb go. The driver had driven the car. The driver is the subject. Had here we are using in case of past tense. Driven, again this driven is the past participle of the verb drive the car. So the dog has eaten the biscuits, the girls have gone to home, the driver had driven the car. And if you need to use perfect tense, you need to know the past participle form of the verbs. So in that case, you must have to look for a good grammar book where you will find complete list of the basic verbs which we actually use in our daily sentences, because this will help you to point out the errors which sometimes come while constructing a sentences. You may be asked to find out the errors. So there this participle, if you know, then you will be able to correct or rectify the errors in a sentence. Okay, let's go to the next part. Present perfect tense. Now, as we have said, as I have said, that today we'll be dealing with present perfect tense and perfect continuous. So we will now discuss about present perfect tense. Now, till now we have learned what is perfect tense, and now we will know about present perfect tense, in which cases we will use present perfect tense. First, when we will denote a recently completed action, we will use present perfect tense. For example, he has just gone out. What are we getting in the sentence? He has just gone out means he has recently completed an action. He has just gone out. So when we are referring to an action which is just completed, just now, recently completed, we will use present perfect. Next, to denote past action where definite time is not given. I mean, a past action it may be referring, but there we are not using past tense, we are using present perfect, because we actually don't know the particular time. Like, have you cut the onions? um, Now a person is asking someone, we don't know whether the incident is of yesterday or today or just now, so specific time is not mentioned in the sentence. So someone is asking the question, have you cut the onions, means the question also itself doesn't know the about the particular time. So that's why we are using present perfect tense. We are not using past tense here, we are using present perfect tense, because the time is not definitely given in the sentence. It is of course a past action, because someone has instructed someone to cut the onions, so that's why he's asking, but the definite time is not mentioned, so that's why we are using present perfect tense here. Next, an action which started at a time in the past but has continued up to the present moment. Like, we have lived here for 10 years. Now, this people, they are staying at at a particular place since 10 years. For 10 years, they have lived, right? And maybe they are leaving now, we don't know, but at least from the past time they have started living. And he is mentioning that we have lived here for 10 years. Now maybe after that he will be leaving, but we don't know. But he had started living there in the past time, and it has continued up to the present. So he has completed 10 years of his living in that place. So the action is continued from the past to the present moment. So just now he is mentioning that he has now covered his 10 years of living in a place. Next, to denote life experiences at different times, like I have visited Delhi 3 times till now. Till now a person is giving information that he has visited Delhi 3 times. So maybe 10 years before, maybe 3 years before, maybe 2 weeks before, but he has giving about a life experience and some experience uh, at different times, means he's saying that 3 times he has visited till now. So up to the present moment, so everything is happening up to the present moment. Some actions may have been completed, but everyone is speaking of up to the moment, what has been up to the present moment. So when a person is wants to express life experiences at different times, like I have visited Delhi 3 times, that is, it is a part of life experience, and he has visited Delhi 3 times, so that is also he is mentioning life experience at different times, visiting of Delhi 3 times, different times. So here also we are using present perfect tense. So these are the 4 cases where we will be using present perfect tense. Next, where to use present perfect continuous tense. Now we have learnt about the present continuous tense. Now today we will learn about present perfect continuous tense. Now where it is used? It is used for an action which started at a time in the past and is still continuing. Means a work which has started in the past time but it is not finished, and even it is continuing in the present time. It is not yet finished. And how does it look like? Firstly, we will have the subject, then we will have has or have. Since it is present time, we will not use had, so we will use has or have. Then we will add an extra thing, been, then the original verb, and then ing with the original verb. So let's have a look at the sentence structure. They have been building the bridge for several months. First we are having the subject they, then here we are using have as they is plural, then we are putting been, then we are using the original verb built and adding ing with build, and hence it is becoming building the bridge for several months. They have been building the bridge for several months. Next, he has been sleeping for 5 hours, means he is still sleeping, he is not awake. So here also see, first the subject he, has. Now has will we are using as he is singular, then again we are adding been, and then again the original verb sleep, and we are adding ing with sleep, and hence it is becoming sleeping for 5 hours. So they have been building the bridge for 7 months, he has been sleeping for 5 hours. So in this way we will construct present perfect continuous tense. Now that's all for today. If you have any queries regarding this lecture today, please let me know in the comment section. Please share and subscribe, because I'm trying my best to make you understand this tense part, because this tense is an integral part of all the competitive exams, and many a times this come you will be asked to point out the errors or the correct form of verbs. So this will help you, and we will shortly be back with my next video where we will discuss about the past tense. So thank you. Take care.